Okay, welcome to Bitrix24 Live. I'm Damien Edwards, the Commercial Manager of Interface. We're Bitrix24 Gold Partners. We're based in the UK and we have offices in the US and the UAE. And we provide Bitrix implementation support, so we can provide a demonstration of the system, full implementation service including customization and training, and we provide ongoing telephone support service as well. With me I have our technical manager Andy Naylor.
Hi guys, so we're going to be here for the next hour answering your questions on Bitrix24. So whether you have the on-premise version of Bitrix or even the free cloud version, we can answer any questions that you may have, things that you may be struggling on, or if you want a little bit more information on how to build certain workflows or how some of the modules work, then we can show you live on the screen. Like I say, we're here for the next hour, but if you do have some questions that come to you in the week, do send them over to sales@interface.com, just with the subject Bitrix24 Live, with those questions, and that means that we can start each session off with those questions. So if you do have any questions, put them in the box on YouTube, and we can answer them as we go along.
Okay, so questions coming by email. Can I progress leads and deals through stages on the mobile? So we haven't got a mobile hooked up, but you can certainly do. I'll show you on the system what we mean by stages, but it's possible to do this, to progress these deals, change the stage of a deal on the mobile. You don't get all the same views on the mobile. So on the browser version, you can view deals in a Kanban chart like this. Let's find one that's got more deals. So you can view them in a Kanban. Allows me to move them around these stages here like that. You can view them in a list, standard list view, and that allows me to change the stages here like this. Also a calendar, and you've got a dashboard view as well. You can do the same. You can't view them all on a Kanban view on a mobile, but you can view them on a list type view like this, and you can change the stage. So you can change the stage. You can change I think any of the fields, so I can change these drop downs and things like that on the mobile. So you can do most things within sort of adding content in terms of adding to the fields on the mobile. I can add comments, I think, on the mobile, book calls, those sort of things. How do I embed CRM links into my website? So, to show what you mean by CRM links, the only thing you would probably embed into your website would be a CRM form. So, I can't think of anything else where you would have a link that you would embed into your website. I mean, on your website you can integrate chat widgets, callback forms and things like that. And you can also do CRM forms. So once you've created your form, add a new form here, you can click on embed code here and it gives you the code. Add that to your website and you can do it as an embedded form. You've got some tabs here that allow you to do it as a button or a time delayed pop-up. So I guess it's you're referring to CRM forms in that question. If not, let us know.
Yeah, I've got a question as well that's come through about integrating Facebook ads with Bitrix24. So yeah, that's certainly something that you can do. If you go into, so I've just jumped into a cloud version here. If you go into the contact center that is in your left-hand menu, then this is the location where you can find all the integration tools for your social media, so Facebook and Instagram. And the question was about Facebook ads. So how the Facebook ad integration works, I'll just quickly go into what you would need to do first of all is that you would need to create a CRM form. So if we go into the CRM, click into CRM forms here, and then we can add a new form. Now, for those of you that are new to the CRM form aspect of Bitrix, it just allows you to create a simple inquiry form. So let's just say this is Facebook, and we can call it Bitrix24 Live, and maybe we want to say join the live session. And then what we can do on the right hand side here, we have the available fields that are within each module. So I'm going to click into lead, and what we can do here is just click on the fields that are available inside a lead. So we want the first name, last name. We're going to want to know the email address. And what we could possibly do, we haven't got it in here, but what we could do is, if we find a comment, and what we're going to do, instead of having the comment on here, we can change the text of the comment, and we could say, please write your question. Click on close. That's changed the form label here, so please write your question. Name, last name, email. Again, we probably want to change name to first name. First name there. And then if we scroll down, the responsible person of the lead that's going to come in is going to be Max Smith. And we just want to make sure that the lead is the entity that's going to get created. So in our case, click on save. That will create the form. You just need to do one more thing before it is accessible to embed and work on your site, or in our case, our Facebook lead ad. We just have to click on enable here, so you can see the form is now enabled. Now if I just give this page a refresh, then the idea with Facebook lead ads is that you can now use that form in an ad that you are running on Facebook. The user will fill in that form and it will generate a lead within your CRM. So if I click on Facebook lead ads here, then you can now see the form that I've just created, Facebook Bitrix24 Live. Now if I click on that, what it will ask me to do, I don't believe we have a Facebook account connected up, but all you need to do is click on connect. That will all then authenticate you on Facebook, so you will need to log in to Facebook, and you will need a Facebook ad account on there to be able to connect and authenticate. And then once you've done so, you can log into your Facebook ad account, and you will see the available forms within that Facebook ad account. And then you can use those forms on your Facebook ad, and then the two are seamlessly connected. People don't need to leave Facebook for you to generate leads directly in your Bitrix24 system. So if you are running ad campaigns on Facebook, it definitely is a great tool to be using for the CRM forms.
Okay, I have a free account. What happens when I stop an employee who's left? Does it mean Bitrix gives me one more user to add, or do they stay adding to the total number of users Bitrix gives me? So on a free account you get 12 users. If you suspend somebody, then that does create an extra free slot for an additional user.
Yeah, just basically if you dismiss somebody, isn't it? It makes it, if you had 12 users you dismissed, you would then go down to 11 users and you would be able to add another one. Obviously the dismiss user, all their content that they may have added into Bitrix will remain. That's the reason why you cannot delete users. It's generally because they've been involved in something inside Bitrix, like communications or tasks. So dismissing will leave all their items in Bitrix still, but they will get an access denied when they try and log back in.
Yeah. What are the reporting tools inside the CRM? There's a few different ways you can do reporting. Let's go to this one. So Probably 3 different ways that you can report on information inside the CRM. So let's have a look at deals. So let's go to this one with a few deals on there. So first thing, let's go to list view. First thing that you might want to do is just report, just drill down into the deals you have live in the system. At the top is a filter box. By default, it filters already to deals in progress. You can take that out and then show me every single deal in the system, including ones that you've lost. You can then filter by let's go to a different site. Just bear with me a second. Go to this one with more information. So this is our deals list. We can filter by deals in progress. We can filter then by, say, responsible person. You can filter by stage. So let's just select a couple of these stages, and then gives you a set of information that you're looking for. You can export that if you want to export it as CSV. So that's one way of just finding a page of information. Second one is inside deals still. This is available in all or most of the CRM modules. You can do create a report page like this. So these are standard widgets which are available. Apply them to the page. You can then rearrange your page layout to get the layout you want, and then inside each of these you can set the data you want to display inside that individual widget. So that's what's called a report. It's available on the right hand side, link over here on deals and leads, quotes and invoices, I think. So that's the second one. You can still do a filter as well up there, so I could filter that set of data just by my own deals, or broaden it to see all deals within the business. And final ways to do a custom report. Click on reports up here, deals by John Smith. So you can see all my deals, not many in the system, but yeah, so you've got some standard reports available here that you can use, and you can create a custom report here as well. If we can edit this, we can see what you can do. So I can set the columns that I want to display in my table, set the filter. So here I've got deal type equals all, but I can just narrow down to filter on one type of, in this case it's a deal pipeline. In this case I'm just looking for responsible person equals John Smith. You can add additional filter items in there to get the set of data that you want.
Yeah, and that's quite important, isn't it? You can change the filter in the report. So if you just want it fixed and the person not to be able to select it, so if I save that report here, then on the right hand side of this report you would now no longer would be able to change the filter. So we've got a question that's come up. Can I restrict users so one person can't see the leads entered by another person? Absolutely, you can. So just to point out that in leads and also in every other entity, you do have a responsible person that is associated to a lead. So what you can do is you can set your permissions of your CRM so you would only see your own. So if I was logged in as Mike Black, I would just see these two. I would not see Tara Green's on here. And how you do this is if you go into the CRM settings and then go to permissions and then access permissions, what you will need to do is you will need to create a new role. So if you click on add on your role, and then if we've got quite a lot of deal pipelines here. So if you just scroll down and you can see the lead section on here. And at the top we have the ability to read, so the ability to see the lead, add new leads, edit leads, delete, export, and import. So if we scroll down, all we would need to do is, if you want to restrict this role to only see their own leads, you would click where it says access denied and set it to personal. That would mean that this user who gets assigned this role would only be able to see the leads that they are responsible for. And if we set it so we can add new leads only for themselves, and they can edit their own leads as well. So if we just called this lead, we said personal leads, and then had it so lead personal, 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 click on save. What we can do now is assign that role, so you can see the role now appears at the top, and we can assign that role to all employees that are on the system. We can assign it to specific employees, or we can assign it to departments as well. So if we said for all the sales North department, we want to assign them the role personal lead. So anybody in that department here will only be able to see their own leads. And you can tweak and modify your role as much as you want. If you set a particular section, so if you just go back into this, just to point out that if you did set contacts and companies all to access denied, the menu link at the top would disappear for that particular user. So it's a good way of switching off some of these menu items for the user who is assigned this role. So in this case, our user would only see the leads menu item up at the top, because each of the modules is set to denied.
Did you show this so you can in leads you actually have different stages? These are customizable. You can change the permissions based on the stage. So what we sometimes do is, let's say when a lead's lost, we might want to lock it down then so that it can't be changed, or when a lead's indeed is qualified, it might want to prevent it from being changed. Maybe not on this column, maybe not on the read column, but certainly on the update column, change that so that people can't change it once it's being won or lost. Put our contact details up there if you want to get in touch with us, sales@intraface.com, or any of those telephone numbers to arrange a demo or ask any questions about commercial questions or questions about features of Bitrix24. We're available to do a demo online, or if you're local to one of our offices, then a demo in your on site at your place. So we've got a few more questions come through by email. Can I remove modules from the menu? I only need the CRM to begin with. So we did mention there about being able to remove some of these by using the permissions. You can also hide them as well down here if you want to completely remove them, access deny them. But I guess you're talking about this one. So our menu on the left hand side has quite a lot. You say you only need the CRM to begin with. I mean, you might want to keep things like activity stream. The activity stream will show you, it doesn't show you comments from the CRM actually, but it will show you any communication or comments on tasks and things. You might want that one. But certainly you can customize this. Click on configure menu at the bottom. You can create custom menu items if you want to, but you can hide any of these menu items. So I can hide that. So essentially just go through and hide all of those and save those changes. Does that reflect if you're an administrator for all users? Is that okay? There it is. So you've got that option at the bottom there to set my menu. So if you're an admin of the system, for all users or just for new users. So that allows you to deploy it across the business. They are still available in this drop down here, more menu drop down. You can, if you've got a self-hosted edition, you can completely remove these. You can also rename them. Let's do a quick look. I don't think you can rename these. No, you can't rename these menu items, but you can hide them and then create a new one. So I could let's just do this. Let's just go down there. I could say I've got workflows. I can copy this URL here and go to configure menu, add custom menu. If I wanted to call it approvals instead of workflows, then I can do that. And now I've got an approval, so I click on that, it'll take me to the same page as the workflows, so I could then hide the workflows. So you can create a new one and hide the old one if you just wanted to rename it, if the description isn't suitable for you.
I think one of the good things with the self-hosted as well, rather than the cloud version, is that you can actually we can actually remove items completely off the menu. So rather than having a hidden section on the left-hand side, it's quite common that people on the on-premise version of Bitrix actually remove them because you have access to all the source code.
Yeah, and you can also just in one of the settings in the control panel up here, you can actually define permissions on these menus, so by department, things like that, so that different people see different links to different pages.
So we've got a question come through. I would like to know if it's possible to change the standard statuses of the tasks regarding my example. Instead of pending, in progress, you want other names. So unfortunately, no, you cannot change the task statuses. They are used quite well now, especially in terms of the task automation as well. So we have an automation rule here. We can actually choose for the statuses. So these are the ones I believe you're referring to. So when a task is created and not started, pending, when you move it, when you click on start, it goes to in progress. When you close it down and you have tick box selected to get approved by the person who created it, it's pending review, completed is obvious, and then deferred. You can't change those statuses. The only thing you possibly could do is you could create a custom field for a task. I don't believe in the cloud version you can create a custom field as a list. I think you would need the on-premise version for that. So if we click in here, yeah, so we can only click text, number, date, or true and false. On the on-premise version, if we just have a look at it, you can actually create a custom field on here. Actually, you would need to go to the control panel. Still in there. Let's have a look on here. If we have a custom field as a list, I think we do. Yeah, so you can see here on the on-premise version, you could have different types of list, and you could have your new statuses on there. But so you could do that on an on-premise. We actually have our own statuses, don't we? On our own internal system, we've created some functionality where we have all different kinds of statuses.
So you've got statuses and stages, haven't you, now on tasks?
Mm-hmm.
Too sure why I can't see my...
It's not in a... If we add it into a project group,
yes. Okay.
I think you'll just need to come out. Oh, yeah, scroll down into that.
Okay. So each project group has their own... You can customize these stages of the task. So it might be that's actually a solution. You can change those. You can add additional ones. You can see them rolling over. It's giving the option to add and to a little pencil icon to be able to change the description. So you can add or remove and change the names on these stages, but not the statuses. Follow up from the last question is, can I have a CRM as the home page when I log in? So let's have a look. You can make home page. Here we go. So in edit you can make home page. So when somebody goes to your domain, top little domain there, then it will go to that home page, CRM page.
Yeah, it's generally whichever is the top of the left-hand menu. So you can see we clicked in there and it directed us straight. Whatever's the top menu item would act as your home page. A lot of people have that set as the tasks, so they can arrive straight onto. But you can add your own custom links in here, move them to the top, and then that would be the home page within your Bitrix system.
Yeah, can I integrate Bitrix with our finance system? So I think Bitrix handles sales, projects, HR, pretty much everything other than sort of finance. So you do need to find a way when you've generated or won a deal inside Bitrix, how they then generate an invoice and manage the finance. There is an invoice page, but it won't manage your tax and sales tax and corporation tax and things like that, and scheduling costs correctly. So you can generate, once you generate an invoice inside Bitrix, you can sync with your some available finance packages to copy that invoice into those. If you go into your applications, we'll see what's available. Certainly Xero and FreshBooks, I think. We have a look in here for accounting. Then we've got QuickBooks, we've got Xero, FreshBooks are the main finance packages that we can integrate with. So that will be available to you on the cloud. If you're using a different package, then you can integrate with that if they have an API available, and provided you're on the self-hosted or willing to upgrade to the self-hosted, the on-premise edition Bitrix that has a full API allowed to do that integration. So if that's what you want to do, then you can use one of these apps. If the finance package you're using is not available here, then get in touch with us and we can talk you through how to change to the on-premise and how to do the integration with that finance package. You can do two-way, I believe, so you can create the invoice inside Bitrix and copy into your finance, create the invoice in your finance package and copy that into Bitrix. Whichever way you want. We do things like copying, syncing products as well in the CRM. So when you create a new product in your finance package, you'll copy it into Bitrix. So that you can see kind of stock availability on products and things like that. We've done that sort of work. So post your questions in the chat window. We'll stay online until we run out of questions. And if you subscribe to Bitrix24 and Interface on YouTube, then you get notification when we go live. But we do the same time every week, and also we do webinars on specific subjects on a Monday. If you go to Bitrix24 homepage at the bottom, you can register for those.
So I had a question. I think we've only got, like Damien said, we've only got a couple more questions. So do ask any that you may have, because we're probably going to be on for 5-10 minutes more with just these two questions. We had a question: is there a way to allow HR to access the absence chart? And how the absence chart works, for those again the viewer don't know, is you can. Well, first of all, there's a quick and easy way. If you're an administrator to start off with, or a supervisor, then go into time and reports. Then you will be able to see users that have booked their leave off. Okay, and then you'll be able to add entries on here. So if I wanted to add somebody called up, Mary's going to be off, and there's all these different types of leave. So we could say that here. And we could say vacation, and they're going to start in 20th through to 24th. And the good thing about adding leave onto the absence chart is that if you try and assign a task to somebody after that, or if you were trying to post a message, it does show you a little icon to say the person is away. So you can see I've just booked in Mary Jones for the next week off. Now, with regards to the question, can I allow HR? Well, a normal user would be able to see their own. If you're a supervisor, you'll be able to see the people below you in your department. And if you're an administrator, then you'll be able to, again, see everybody. I don't believe you can set a specific person to see everything in your absence chart. You could do it on the on-premise, because we do have a little bit more access and control over the components in here. So if we clicked on here, we can set some parameters and who can see it in terms of the permissions. But if you're on the cloud, it's not going to be possible. For those about the absence chart, if you did ever want to explore using it a little bit more, then you can use the built-in workflows if you're on a commercial package, anything but other than the free will give you access to, for example, the leave approval workflow, which will go through, send your request to somebody in HR, they'll approve it, and only at the point of approval will it get added to that absence chart.
Okay, how can I build or adapt business processes? So we're in one here. So business processes exist in the workflow section here, and also in documents, on lists, and in the CRM. We've then also got automation in tasks and in the e-store as well. So, but we'll have to look at a couple of them. So if I go to one of my workflow directory here, click on workflows up here and open up one of these workflows. If you click in the actions at the top, configure workflow, then you can customize. Click into here, you can customize this workflow. So this is what the standard workflow tool looks like. These individual action blocks are linked by this flow chart line, allows you to see visually what happens when certain events occur. In this case, there's an approval, and if it's approved, it goes down this route by a user, that is. If it's rejected by a user, it goes down this route. You can add any of these standard action blocks in from the right-hand side. So let's put in something like an absence chart. That would add something to an absence chart. Calendar event, there we go. If you wanted to create a calendar event, you can do that. Send out an email, send out a user notification, etc., etc. So you can build up your business process. So you can modify existing processes or build your own from scratch. You have things like these conditions, so we can look at things like fields within certain areas of the system, and if it matches a certain condition, it can go down different routes in your workflow. So you can build up your business process like that. Those are available in the activity stream. You have same tool available in the CRM to run on leads and deals and quotes and companies and contacts. You have the similar thing on the drive as well. You have some standard processes on the drive for approving documents and sharing documents with people. And then inside tasks, you have automation, which is slightly different tool, but can do similar things. So if you go into tasks, you've got automation rules on the right-hand side. So you don't have any standard automation rules in most areas of the system, apart from you have standard processes for leave requests and purchase requests, those sort of HR requests which are available in that activity stream. You have some standard processes for approving documents, but on tasks and in the CRM there aren't any built-in processes, so you build those yourself. With this tool, if I click configure, then this works on stages. So on the stages of the task we've got across the top, we can trigger these actions below. We're going to change the status of there. We're notifying different people within the business, within who belong to the task. We can do other things like change the stage, delete task, set out notifications, etc., etc. Change responsible person, sometimes useful. So you can do those things automatically based on a user changing the stage of a task. You can also use some external triggers to change the stage and then go on to trigger these rules that sit below it. So in this case here, need to complete today is the stage. We're using a trigger called almost overdue. So that's when you get close to the deadline date. It will automatically update the stage of this task to this need to complete today, and it's going to trigger this action below because we've changed to that particular stage. So I mean, that's not detailed how you build them, obviously. I mean, inside the self-hosted version we've got here, you can actually put PHP code into business processes, so can really do lots of things inside there. If you want to get in touch with us with your if you want to have a go building it yourself, if you have any problems, you want to get in touch with us and tell us what you want to achieve, we can scope it out and quote you to do that work for you.
I think that's all the questions we have for the time being. Nobody's put any further questions on YouTube. Like Damien said, if you've got any questions with regards to anything that we've been through today, from business processes to interested in starting to use Bitrix, please do get in touch with us using the contact details there on the screen. We can do one-to-one demos online to yourself and your team. We also offer training services. So again, we can train groups of your team online, in online screen share sessions or at your office. And we also offer premium support. So things such as telephone support and ticketing support we can offer. So if you're interested in any of those, please do get in touch with us using one of the numbers there to your nearest location. But I think, like I say, we don't have any further questions. We'll leave it there for this week, and we'll see you next week at the same time.